Help! They've kidnapped me. Lady Di, a Modern Fairytale by Slobodan Radojev. Mitrich Part 1 Love Chapter 15 Camel Milk ********** It is midnight. The sky is clear. The stars are glistening. Ascended above the earth as if to mock the long-extinct cousin. The moon has assumed the shape of a crescent, so that every star is clearly visible with the naked eye. Although it is summer, the desert nights are nevertheless very cold. The hot sand cools off before midnight to a few degrees above zero, even though the daytime temperature rises to 50 degrees Celsius. And by morning the temperature drops to even a few degrees below zero. Charles lies on a Persian carpet that keeps his back warm. He gazes at the sky and tries to recognize the stars. 100 yards further on, the campfire burns, from which the servants and bodyguards of the king peer into the distance, despite the fact that they are pitched in a huge uninhabited desert. They guard a few helicopters with which they had landed in the daytime. The king of the United Arabian Emirates, who has invited the Crown Prince of Great Britain to enjoy the wonder of the Creator together, is helping his guests. Look, there is the Big Dipper. I see it. But I cannot find the small deep. Look in the direction of the moon. Charles focuses his gaze on it. I do not see it. The king of the Emirates tries to help him on. Just underneath the moon. Do you see it? Oh, yes. Allah's carriage. Great. The sky is perfect. I agree with you. A fireball sparkles. Charles thinks it fell in his vicinity. Did you see that? Yes. A shooting star, the king replies. Yes. Quick, make a wish. Will it come true then? The king quips. Yes. Ha ha ha. The king chuckles. What's so funny? The prince says, surprised. My dear Englishman, I already have everything my heart desires. So you're happy? More than that. I thank God that he gave me much more than any other mortal. You mean material things? That too. But also everything my heart desired. And are you? Charles thinks. I'm not happy. Quick. Make a wish then to be happy. It's too late, quips Charles. The old has gone. The king stands up. Dear Englishman, here at least that is no problem. Now, open your eyes wide and you'll see that on this spot there is an average of 12 meteors a minute. Charles gets up too. He says, teasing the king. Now I know why you're happy. I did not say that I'm happy. But I am grateful to Allah that no meteorite has ever fallen on my head. Ha ha ha. That's a good one. Frankly, I do not believe in that nonsense either. Another fireball sparkles. Both say in unison, quick. Make a wish, both grin. Ha ha ha. The king resumes the conversation. Why are you unhappy? Charles thinks. I do not know why. The king helps him. Maybe it's because you have 2 wives. Charles corrects him. They. 2, Englishman. 2. The prince fidgets on the spot. His face turns red as a ripe tomato, but fortunately the king does not see it because of the dark. How do you know that? My Anglicina, the king says teasingly. I have not informants in your kingdom, then there are stars in the heavens. So, the king laughs. But you have no fewer spies in my kingdom. Right, Charles laughs. Apparently. Come, let's swap, the king says, jokingly. Spies, but the Englishman. Women. Yes, I give you my 364 women, the only one. The official one. Charles blushes again. He is happy that the king cannot see it. Ha ha ha. He chuckles. Do you really have that many wives? All of them real beauties. I am a Muslim. My dear Englishman, why do not you become a Muslim too? Allah will grant you happiness. Just kidding. My people would be right to lynch me. Frankly, I would never want to change my faith. I study Islam only. The king completes his sentence, to understand my people. Yes, and that is why I study Christianity, to understand my people. Also, But I'm naturally curious. Become a Christian then, Charles says teasingly. The king laughs. That is not possible for 3 reasons. Firstly, because your people would also lynch you, the prince says. The king turns serious. Rightly so. But I will be honest with you. I would never want to change my religion for all the treasures of this world. So what are besides that the 3 reasons for not becoming a Christian? The first and most important one. I believe in God and eternal life. Well, we Christians also believe in God and eternal life. I know. That is why I respect you people. A second reason is that our Prophet Muhammad allows us to have as many women as our hearts desire, but we have to love them all and treat them with respect and take their whole life good care of them. Quote, I understand your Prophet Muhammad had only 4 wives. Yes, that is true. Our beloved Prophet was not very rich in earthly treasures. I see. And what is the second reason? The third reason, says the king, is that every Christian can become a Muslim and after that never again a Christian. But not one Muslim can ever become a Christian. The Crown Prince of Great Britain is surprised. I do not understand. The King Charles gently taps on his chest. Because a Muslim is circumcised. My Englishman, Charles on his turn cautiously taps on the king's chest. That's a good one. And it cannot grow back. Bingo, both burst out laughing. Ha ha ha. They start to walk towards the camp. Are you Muslims? Says Charles. Love all your wives and treat them with respect. Yes. Otherwise they would slaughter us in our sleep, Charles laughs. My official, they would kill me if she knew that I was cheating on her. But I love both of them. But your official ones cost you just as much as my 364 wives, says the king teasingly. What do you mean? Well, you buy a new dress every day for her. That costs a whole lot of pounds. While I buy my wives once a year the most expensive burqas. Oh, that's how you calculate it. I thought that Muslim men do not love their women. Because he has so many of them. Yes, I've already told you. The Muslim man loves and respects all women equally well. Are they never jealous of each other? Probably, but they will never show it. Muslim women are highly educated and trained. How commendable. The 2 men come up to within a dozen yards from the camp. The king takes Charles by his sleeve. Stop a moment, please. I want to tell those of our Muslim jokes. Charles stops. So you tell jokes too. The king grins. Englishman, we Muslims love jokes. Just like you Christians. I'm curious. A few hundred years ago, begins as the king, my forefather, who was a famous king of all the Arabs, had only one son. He loved him no less than the Prophet Muhammad, and his son loved him too. Then the time came that his son married his first wife, and they lived a happy life and were satisfied for some time. One day his son runs into his palace chamber, crying, Allah, Allah, help, afraid as an antelope chased by a pack of hungry lions. His father jumps from his couch, hurries to meet up with his son and embraces him. What is it, my son? What happened, father? My wife has died. My forefather fondles his son. Oh, my son, he says. You really scared the wits out of me. I thought your horse got killed. Women, my son, one more beautiful than the other. Our kingdom has more than there are stars in the heavens. Tomorrow your barber will find you a new one. Charles grins. Ha ha ha. Englishman, whispers the king. SHHH. They can hear us. Charles dries his tears of laughter. Sorry. But that's. The king completes his sentence. A brilliant joke, right? And you Christians think that only people you can tell jokes. Charles puts his open hand on his mouth and suppresses his laughter. After a while it becomes quiet. And now, my dear Englishman, I will treat you with the most expensive dessert that an Arab could serve his dearest guests. I wonder. The 2 worldly bigwigs enter the camp. The bodyguards and servants bow with respect. Bring the camel here who today fight a young, orders the king. The servants walk to the herd of camels lying on the sand and chewing grain out their mouth bags. A servant taps gently on a camel that slowly, with its front legs first and then the hind legs, gets up. The Arab takes the bridle, removes the bag mouth and leads the animal to the high guests. The young camel skips behind its mother. Milk it, orders the king. A servant runs to the tent, comes back with an aluminum cup and approaches the camel. Another servant catches the young camel and leads it in front of the mother camel. She licks its young. A servant kneels and grabs a camel udder with one hand, puts the cup under it and starts milking. Slowly the cup fills up. The servant takes the half udder and also milks it. That's enough. Bring it here, orders the king. The servant gets up and hurries with the cup to the king. Please, your royal highness. The king takes the milk and turns to his guest. Your royal highness, I am honored to offer you our most expensive Arab dessert. Charles doubts. He hesitates. All eyes are on him. After a moment, he finally accepts the cup. Thank you. Is this tasty? The king laughs amiably. Your royal highness, I would gladly give up the complexion of my wives for just one drop of Allah's drink. Please. Taste it. Gingerly Charles brings the cup to his mouth. He tastes it, his face brightens up. Wow, this is great. Allah's drink, my dear heir to the British throne. Muhammad, after having been visited by the Archangel Gabriel who gave him the Holy Quran, lived only on this. Please, drink your cup. Charles Camel drinks the milk and gives the empty cup back to his host. Thank you. Really great. The king gives the cup back to his servant and begins to clap his hands. All present follow him and shout, "Long live Prince Charles! Hail!" with his face flushing over. Charles politely bows to the king and the rest of the company. ****.